Hi, I'm Edie.
I'm Judy,
And
and
together
together
we're
we're
the
the
Rainbow
Rainbow
Grannies.
Grannies. Hey! We come on here Saturday and Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We're here to uplift the LGBT community because we are part of the LGBT community.
That's it.
We are here on YouTube. I'm adjusting the camera and TikTok both at the same time. TikTok, lots and lots of comments going, and on YouTube, we've got it recorded so that we can always, go back and watch it later.
Right.
Share it with your friends.
So definitely, if you happen to be just seeing us for the first time, make sure you subscribe so that you'll get a message every time we put up a video, and it helps with us grow. And everybody likes to think that they helped their grandma out. We Rainbow Grannies.
That's right.
You want to help us out? So definitely subscribe. Let's see what's going on. We're waiting for some more people to come on here and everything.
Right.
So how you feeling today?
I am sleepy today.
Yeah.
I think I'm fighting a cold. You know how that is.
Yeah.
Run myself ragged.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch a cold. So I'm really fighting it. I'm fighting it back.
It's really hard to imagine getting a cold when it's like 90 degrees outside.
I know. Hey, Nate is here.
Hey, Nate, how you doing?
Lady. Thank you, Nate. How are you?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's just like, how can you catch a cold when it's 90? We got some kind of heat warning thing going on. I got to do something with that stuff up there. That looks bad there. That helps. Yeah. Morning, everybody.
I like your hat.
Thank you. It's my other hat. It's reversible.
Oh, okay.
So it depends on how I'm feeling today.
So today you're feeling pirate rainbowy.
Yeah. The other side is pirate rainbowy too, but different kind of pirate rainbowy.
Okay.
I know. Hey, we're doing pretty good, Nate.
Different color than the rainbow.
Nate is over in the UK, and Nate is asking how we're doing, and we were just saying that Judy's catching a cold. I got allergies. Hey Josie, what happening, girl?
And yet, despite all this, we're happy. Can you tell? I'm happy today because, my wife said, "Hey Judy, it's time for TikTok Live," and I said, "I'll be there for my wife. My wife needs me."
I needed you, right? Because we told everybody yesterday we would be back. Let's see. So, I just felt like if I don't come back today, then we're disappointing somebody. Yeah, it's like telling lies or something. Guess what we did? Okay, it's a secret.
It's a secret? We did something that's a secret?
We found the bed yesterday. Remember?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
You think somebody will see it?
I don't think so. I think the family we got the bed for, I think, don't watch it. I think they out and about in the park or something now because
we're whispering. We probably got to talk a little louder. You whisper like they're in the living room. They're in the UK sleeping right now. We're out at the park playing. Morning, everybody. Thank you. Let me say over here to YouTube or TikTok. Hi, I'm Edie.
I'm Judy, and together we're the Rainbow Grannies.
Yay! We come on here every Saturday and Sunday morning. Well, God willing, and the creek don't rise. We're part of the LGBT plus community. We're on here like having fun and talking and having coffee. So, hey, King, good morning from Cleveland. So, anything you want to talk about, type it in there and we'll talk about it.
Nate had a full tattoo session, which I can't even imagine, Nate. I'm afraid of needles. I wouldn't, wow. So you'll have to describe what you got, what kind of tattoo you got that took like a full session. Means how long, and you wiped out today.
Thank Ashtura for being our newest follower. I appreciate it. Anybody that's not following, make sure you follow. Because only the cool people follow Rainbow Grannies. So guess what this is?
This is a transgender flag.
That's right.
Everybody know that?
Right.
Test your flag colors.
We don't want to test them all because that takes a long time. But we bought this one out yesterday, and I noticed that, there was a lot of people that, probably was really happy to see the fact that we had this flag laying here, because it showed that not only are we supportive of the gay community, the lesbians, the gays, and all that, but we also are supportive of the trans because guess what? It's hard to believe. But there's a lot of people out there that are hating on the trans.
They are.
And
what's the Netflix show we saw? Do you have any advice for someone who's afraid to come out and accept themselves? So it's about coming out to yourself and accepting that you're part of
Well,
the
that's hard.
LGBTQ
It
community.
really is hard to come out and accept yourself because you're so programmed in the world hating you.
Yeah,
And
there's a
you
lot of
a lot of
self-hatred.
people, yeah, they got that self-hatred. Go ahead, honey, you can talk about it.
Oh, let me think. So, see, so let me think. It's see,
Well, there are
let
people that
me
just
let me
hate
think.
themselves for everything, for all kind of things. There are people that hate
Right.
themselves because of their hair color, their skin color, their weight,
Let
And
me
so,
think. When I was a teenager, I read a book that everybody has homosexual feelings. Don't worry about it; it goes away. And I thought, oh, okay. So everybody feels what I'm feeling, and it will go away. And then I was in my 20s, and it didn't go away. And I thought, at some point, I just had to accept who I was and understand it.
hi, Sophia.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Keep talking. You.
yeah. And so I had to understand that it wasn't something going away. It was who I am, and I found other people like me, other people who are like me, other people who are gay, other people who are lesbian, other people who are just part of the LGBTQ community. I found a community and hung out and saw, and that's how I was able to really accept who I am because I saw I wasn't alone.
Right.
I wasn't a bad person like
Right.
society tried to tell me I was.
Yeah. So I
And here
think
were all these people just like me, and we had fun. And so it's a good thing to come out and accept yourself for who you are.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing that helps is just the fact that you find your community. And that's what a lot of people do when they come on here in the mornings. They're
Mm-hmm.
finding their community. They're finding a place where they feel comfortable. They're not out there watching politics. They're not out there watching NASCAR, because you find what makes you interested, what you're interested in. And a lot of people are interested in learning more about themselves and learning
Mm-hmm.
more about us,
Mm-hmm.
or their children. You wouldn't
Yeah.
believe the people that come on here and realize, they also realize that they have children that are either gay or transgender or, you know, many different things. And,
Right.
and it just feels good for them to be in a community where they can help
Mm-hmm.
understand it.
So here I'm trans, male to female, and bisexual. And then somebody else here, I brought my phone so
Well,
I
you
can
know
try
what,
to read these
Rachel?
too.
There was honestly a time where I had trouble understanding that, you know, but it just took me some time to to
Understanding
to,
what?
to being male to
Oh,
being
okay.
bisexual and trans,
Oh, okay.
because to me, I didn't understand how you switch from one sex to another
Mm-hmm.
and then want to be with someone of the same sex. It
Mm-hmm.
was just like
Right, because
it's a
people,
lot.
yeah,
It's
because people,
Thank you. Go
yeah,
ahead.
people go and say, well, if you're a man and you're attracted to women, then why not just stay a man? Why transition to a woman and be attracted to women? Because then they're saying it's normal to be heterosexual. Why would you change your gender and not be heterosexual? And that's where the problem is. People think it's normal to be heterosexual. They don't
Right.
understand that sexuality is on a spectrum and who we are gender wise is on a spectrum. And
Right.
it's about that. It's not trying, it's just like when somebody says, somebody said, post typed on there yesterday for us, who's the husband? And of course, Rachel or somebody got rid of
Somebody
them.
typed that? I missed
Yeah.
it. Oh
And
my
then
God.
my favorite answer was Ellen DeGeneres who put up the chopstick when you're eating Chinese food and said, so just like asking which one's the fork. It's just it is no relation. You can't compare. It's not the same thing. Comparing apple to oranges, it's not the same thing. So yeah. So when people who you're attracted to and what your gender is, not neither is related to the
Hey, I
other.
want to thank you all for following us, joining us, hanging out with us, chit chatting, and sharing in the conversation here. You know, let's see. Pride says, I lived through Section 28 in the UK and
UK.
it was horrible. I'm not familiar with what Section 28 was, but
I'm assuming it's anti-gay.
yes, I'm sure it was. And thank you for all the new followers too. Hey, amazing spirit. That's right. Hey, Auntie. How you doing? So let's see. And Sin City is our new follower. Let's see. I recently got fired from my job for admitting I'm bi. I only recently felt comfortable in coming out. So, I mean, that's just unbelievable that they would fire you
Right.
because you're bi.
Right.
I just feel like anybody, honestly, this is what I think too. That all has to do with, be careful with this. My lids might not be on there good. So I think anybody that would fire somebody because they're bi is because they're dealing with their own self-hate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
probably had a thing for you and didn't know how to deal with it. You know, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know, Amy. I would hope it's a big lawsuit, but I don't know if it is anymore. You
Well, it
know,
depends where. Depends where. I
I don't
mean,
know
because we
because
don't have protection nationwide in the United States yet. Some
no,
countries do have protection.
yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
you know,
Bermuda.
South Africa, it's illegal. I mean, hate discrimination is illegal. The LGBTQ community is protected, but individual people, I'm hearing, is still a different
Well, I'm just
thing.
talking about here in the United
Mm-hmm.
States. I mean, we can't even say it's illegal here because there's been so much of this government
Yeah,
stepping in there saying,
yeah.
they don't like trans or they don't like gay or they don't
Well,
like whatever.
we don't yet have federal
So
protection for
so they can
LGBT
probably,
nationwide. We have it in individual cities and counties and
and they're
states.
counting on the fact that you don't have the assets in order
Mm-hmm.
to try to sue somebody. I'm
Right,
sure it's not cheap
right,
to obtain a lawyer and make that all happen. Hey, music
right.
woman, how you
You
doing?
need a case that the ACLU will take up, make you part of their case.
Right. Now I'm sure they're so busy right now that I can't even
Mm-hmm.
imagine. Yeah, so Amy's saying some lawyers won't make you pay until you win. That's generally in a car wreck.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like Morgan
yeah.
and Morgan on my TV constantly
Right.
all day. You know, they don't need to make you
Yeah,
pay because
we'll get
my
money for
God,
you.
how much are they paying for commercial
I
space
know.
all day? They could probably take a
They
little
must win a
less.
lot.
Oh my God. Yeah, so morning everybody. We are Edie and Judy, and we are part of the LGBT plus community. Let's see, I
Yeah,
love the rainbow Mickey on your shirt.
I
Yep.
know. I like that too, and I like that we got a row of hearts all along.
Yeah.
I think that's cute. We didn't plan it
Hey,
today.
happy Pride, everybody. We're still rolling with that Pride month,
Yeah,
This
thank
is
you for
it.
all the gifts, everybody.
Yeah,
We're
really.
seeing the
Thank you for the
gift
gifts.
line.
Every time you send gifts, I'll give Judy kisses. Wait. More gifts, more kisses, more gifts, more kisses. Including schools from
From
intentionally
intentionally,
promoting. Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't understand that schools don't promote homosexuality. I don't understand.
No, they don't.
Mm.
No. I mean, they're just not even allowed to accept that there's
Mm-mm.
kids that are homosexual, and that's just messed up in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You got kids. Everybody is who they are. We all
Yeah.
remember. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but being in
Oh, that
school
was
with
what section. Oh, Pride is saying. That's what section 28
we all
was. Oh,
remember
okay.
being in school with kids that you knew were gay, and you could
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them was one that somebody picked on. They were
Uh-huh.
getting bullied.
Oh, look, somebody came in just in time to see the
Oh,
sweet kiss.
we got some coffee. I think I'm gonna go cough. I hope you
Oh,
got
you're gonna go
something to cover
cough. You hope
yourself.
I got something to talk
Yep.
about.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, so it is interesting for me about the laws in different countries and how they're handled and what they're called. So Section 28. I mean, I know that here, state by state, we're always fighting for different kinds of laws. So that's what I was saying, that federal wise, we are not protected as a queer community, but it's by state, city, county, and so on. So everybody thought I was a man to about 8th grade when things started growing out my chest. That's shitty, okay. Sin City. And then Pride, I was bullied at school for being gay, and not one teacher said anything. Yeah, I know, Pride. I'm really sorry about that too. I've got a friend that same thing happened to him. Um, he was like, beat up in school all the time, and his parents finally took him out of that school. Well, they didn't take him out of the school. They just understood if he didn't want to go to school that day, so he cut school a lot and missed a lot. It's a shame. And there was so many other schools to go to, or you just say something. Get them to stop. Marriage is still legal for Rainbow community in Oklahoma. Well, yeah, because it's also still that's good because it's also still legal federal wise. I mean, we'll see how much they're going to try to do something with that. I want to change it and turn to Pride because it is Pride Month. What I'm saying is, how many people going to a Pride parade today, or do any on Sundays? Because I know yesterday we listed Pride. There was Pride in Chicago, and Pride in Chicago. I mostly remember Chicago. There was several prides in Ohio. Where else? is there a parade? Is anybody going to a parade today, or have you gone yesterday to a parade and got something to talk about with it? Because Edie and I went to Pride here in Pittsburgh. I'll keep talking till you've got something to say back, okay, or ask a question. Amherst, Massachusetts. Is that today? So I know Amherst, Massachusetts. I have a niece who went to college there. Providence Pride was yesterday. Okay.
You got a cup up there?
Yeah. One of the cats left it for me. UK is going backwards on LGBT rights, but we will continue the fight always. And California Pride is coming up this week. So that's funny. The UK is going backwards. I didn't really know that. I know, Trump is making us go backwards. But I didn't know you were having trouble in the UK. I thought things got straightened out there. God. So the UK has a wonderful movie. I think it's called Pride, and my daughter got it for me, and it was all about, the queer rights movement. It was a really really good movie. And what's the Saturday Night Live Will Ferrell? What was his last name?
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
Okay. He did a really wonderful documentary on Netflix. And it's not a documentary like, oh, let me inform you of things. It's a documentary where he and his friend go on a road trip. His friend, who was his writer for years and years and years, transitioned male to female.
Right.
And they went, now I'm ready to tear it. They went on a road trip and they filmed the road trip where where Will got to learn about his friend more and more. His friend got to talk. It is the most honest movie I've ever seen. This is one that I recommend to people who don't understand what it's like to transition.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's two friends.
Well, and it was just nice that,
talking.
And to think that Will and him were friends for all those years, and Will didn't know.
Yeah.
And he had no idea.
Right.
And so it was really kind of hard for him yet to accept it at first, because he was just kind of like, what? No, we've been friends for all these years. I would have known that or whatever.
It wasn't hard for him to accept he didn't like his friend. It was hard for him to accept
that he didn't see it. Yeah, that he didn't see it and figure it out. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us and hanging out. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride!
Yeah.
So that's my highest movie recommendation of the day.
Did anybody come out this Pride so far? Anybody done it yet? I almost feel like everybody's come out already, but I guess not, because we always see somebody
who just looking about how to accept themselves to come out.
Right. What do you think the best time of the year to come out? Today.
Today's the best time of the year to come out. Today.
Yeah.
It wasn't yesterday, now it's today.
That's it. Yeah, I'd pick the hottest day of the year.
Tomorrow's the best day.
Today's the hottest day of the year. This would probably be the best day to do it.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got enough to worry about.
Sorry, I just tuned in. What was the name of the movie? We can't
what
remember.
Was the name of the movie? Because it was somebody in Will. I'll look it up because it was a person's name, and of course I can't remember.
I think it was on Netflix.
It's on Netflix,
and definitely. It was Will Ferrell and a friend of his, and they did this really cool documentary where they actually traveled. They went to bars and they had fun. They didn't even have to fight, did they? Did they fight any?
No.
Because I think if I went out with my transgender friend, we would probably have to fight somewhere. Yeah. Because somebody's going to start some shit.
Because they went to all the old haunts.
That's
too.
it.
Will
and
Harper.
That's it. Thank you, Destin.
Will and Harper. I'm even ready to watch it again because I was so moved by it the first time. I want to watch it again to see if I missed anything. So
Google helped. Yeah. Google. She's really on top of things.
Yeah,
Google, she's so smart.
Google's the shit.
She's so smart too. Google's got to be female.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting gifts. We get gifts, and Judy gets kisses
because she can find things.
Surviving anything. It has been long time no see. Here we are, we're still sitting here on a Saturday and Sunday morning, having our coffee and sharing our love and our emotions and feelings and everything with everybody out here about the LGBT plus community. How long we've been together? Well, as of about an hour ago, we've been together 11 years, 35 days, and
we met 11
minutes.
years ago. I guess that we've been married for going on our fourth anniversary in November.
We've only been married about 3.5 years now. you know, but we've been together 11 years. We met at the Ohio Women's Festival, and I'm gonna tell you, talk about a good time. You ain't unless I mean, if you're a woman that likes women, there ain't nothing like being at a women's festival.
Women's music festival.
You know, ain't nothing like it. You know, you get to be surrounded by the girls and having a good time. The music's playing. There's all kind of crafts and stuff to do.
Yeah, and Edie
workshops.
found the best way to get all the butchers to come out of the woods.
Yeah.
You fall off your bicycle.
Yeah, you just wreck and fall off your bicycle, and then butchers come running down out of the woods and the trees.
To save your life. She didn't even remember she was married. She didn't know where I was.
I got all delirious for a minute. I looked up, and all I saw was just young butchers, old butchers too, all reaching down, you know, to help me up and dust me off. And
that's right.
It was nice.
I stood by and watched all these women loving on my woman.
Yeah, you know, it was like, here, step back, Judy.
Loving on
don't you
wife.
See they're trying to help pick me up?
You know? I didn't even remember I existed at that moment.
I did forget about you for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I fell, but I was okay.
She didn't get hurt, but
no. You know, I had angel wings underneath me. I think that's what they were.
What
angel wings.
Angel wings.
Something kept me from really getting hurt. I mean, I did like I went over and did like a roll and everything and bounced
That's
back
what it
up.
is, tuck and roll. That's why. We just talked about that right before you fell too, about if you're falling down, tuck and roll.
Yeah, I bounced back up and I was just kind of like, I looked around, all I could see was butches, and I thought, this must be heaven. I must have died. And this is what heaven looks like. A whole bunch of butch lesbians just standing there trying to help you up. You know, that must be what it's like when you're like on your way to heaven, and like as you're going up through the clouds and you look down and you see a whole bunch of hands like this.
That's right. They're all
that's all them butch lesbians reaching for
you up.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Goodness, glad you weren't hurt and you had lovely people to help you.
Yes, it was. It was a miracle.
Edie's been practicing her tuck and roll ever since, because when we go back, she plans to do it again.
I ain't that'll be strictly an accident if it happens again. There ain't no way I'm going down on purpose. No way. Hell no. I mean, matter of fact, there's a Facebook page that involves a lot of those women that were at that festival when I fell. And I actually typed on there about me falling, and they were all like, oh yeah, we saw you. We remember, we saw you fall and everything. Boy, you did that real good. You handled that fall real good. You rolled and you tucked and all this stuff. And I never even believed there was that many people watching as I went down.
My wife and I, 14 years together, 6 years married.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, honey, be strong and live in your truth. My DMs are open if you need to vent. So somebody responded to somebody's comment.
It's nice you guys are being friends to each other and helping each other.
Yes,
gifts.
Thank you for the gifts. And Nate thinks I forgot about that in the UK. I don't know how I could have forgotten about that in the UK. The big deal, you know, UK just struck it against the transgender community. That it's like the US fighting about, you know,
we're in Pittsburgh,
gender neutral bathrooms.
Keep talking.
Or for transgender people using the correct bathroom for themselves, you know, all that battle. And it's funny, you know, and it's funny there was such a battle because I went to the airport where it was everybody's bathroom. You go in there.
That was something.
And it was something.
It was something. Though.
And I couldn't tell who was more uncomfortable, the women or the men.
What airport was we in?
I can't remember which airport.
We were in an airport. It had a huge bathroom, and it was like it was an open bathroom for everybody.
Right. You enter this way, it's huge. You go out that way. There were no urinals in there.
No, there was no urinals. They were all stalls. And so there was men and women all in there. And it was something to see because I had never seen it. You know, we were just like, let's see. I am too. My wife is from Pittsburgh. Hey, Caro. Let's see. I'm from Texas. Pittsburgh.
Brown Eyes.
Yeah. Hey, Brown Eyes. How you doing?
And good morning from Allentown.
Oh, wait, Glenn. I think we're missing something.
Yeah, we're missing some conversation here. Somebody's got a question or a problem they're trying to deal with. It keeps going.
So Trish, I think Trish might be trying to come out.
Still struggling to come out and pushing 27.
Oh, that's young. Honey.
Okay.
Honey,
so that's a few
young.
folks here now trying to, you know, coming out to yourself, I think you're saying, pushing 27.
I bet you I get t-shirts 27 years old. What you think?
think so.
I'd really need to clean out. No, you know what, Trish? I totally understand. I struggled with it for so many years, but I know the big thing was, well, between the hate that you have and the worry you have for yourself, I was so worried that the whole rest of the world was going to hate me. Like my family was going to hate me, my neighbors were going to hate me. I mean, yeah, I think.
And I'm telling you, when I think about it, and I was talking out loud this morning, is that the more friends I surround myself with in the queer community, the more love I feel and see and realize I'm not alone. And there's a whole, and I feel like I belong. And that was the thing. I'm a poet. I went to a queer poetry reading.
What do you
And it's
mean?
like, oh, this is home. Trust me. You come out, you find your community and come out in your community and you will feel at home.
Oh yeah,
You will feel at home. And
yeah. You
then you'll
find your
make
place.
friends and your friends will help stand you up when it comes to coming out to family.
But I think part of what makes it so nice for us is the fact that we live in a larger city,
Yeah.
where there's so many things to be able to be involved with. I
Yeah.
mean, they're just now opening up a big trans thing down in Pittsburgh. I've seen it on the news twice, and it's for the trans children, the trans
Youth.
young youth,
Okay.
okay, that are unhoused, and so they
Hmm.
provide showers and a place for you to catch a nap, and some food, and
Oh,
just
so people kind of like been kicked out
they
of home
opened a
or they,
really nice big one
right,
downtown
or don't
Pittsburgh
have
for
a
these
job.
kids.
Wow. I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think I
been on
knew
the
that.
news twice,
Wow.
and it
Oh, that's,
Sisters PGH, I believe
hmm.
it's called. Um, and so it's just allowing a nice spot for them. Can you
Hmm.
imagine? I mean, I know most of us can't imagine, but can you imagine what it's like to be unhomed? Which most of us all have heard it called,
Hmm.
homeless,
Hmm.
and to be in a transgender situation, roaming the streets or just being
Oh yeah.
unhomed, and just
Yeah.
roaming the
It's
streets,
scary.
and finally found some place that's willing to let you come in and take a shower,
Hmm.
someplace that might have some donated clothing so that you can change
Hmm.
your clothing and feel fresh, and some deodorant, and maybe get a
Well,
haircut.
in
And
case there's anybody who's watching, even who's in this situation, so if you find your way to Pittsburgh downtown, you've got a safe place to go.
right.
You find yourself to San Francisco and check out Castro Street. They've got place there also for youth who are homeless. And I'm saying youth, and I don't. Yeah, I mean, there's a safe place to go. And in San Francisco, they've done this for years, and they've had a safe place
Well, I
for
think
people
a
to
lot
go.
of them, I mean, a
And
lot of
so,
it, it's hard for us to imagine youth that's out there, but a lot of kids, and you guys know it too, are up against the fact that parents don't accept them. So they
hmm,
tell them to basically get to stepping,
right.
so they're out there in the world just,
Hmm.
or they just feel like somebody's not going to love them or accept them. So they go.
Hmm.
And so they're out there or they want
Hmm.
to find their community too.
Right.
So in a way to find their community is to leave the house and go out there and wander around, and so that leaves them out there on the street. And we
And how
know.
do people know where to, I mean, I knew where to find the community because a friend of mine came out before I did. And so he introduced me to friends. He had left the city, but he introduced me to friends who could take me to where the gay community was. How did you know it? Because it's so hidden.
How did I know where to go?
Yeah.
Well, I lived down in Ohio, and I was right across the border, a small town. I was right across the border from Wheeling, West Virginia. And what I found out in Wheeling, West Virginia, there was quite a few gay bars.
Hmm.
And I was so excited. I mean, it was nervous. I was very nervous.
And Wheeling, West
To
Virginia is small enough that you could know that they were gay bars?
Everybody knew they were gay
Okay.
bars.
Okay.
Wheeling used to be kind of happening. Now it's
Right.
completely dead. But I mean, there may be gay bars there now. I don't know. I'm old. I don't
Hmm.
want to go. So I remember going over to Wheeling, and I went to Pirates Cove. Well, it wasn't gay, but
Hmm.
Timplain Alley was gay,
Hmm.
and it was located in a little alley, and it was nice.
Thank you for
And
the gift.
went in
Yeah.
there, and there was like all these ladies there, and some
Hmm.
of them I knew from my job, and they were like, "Hey, how you doing?" And it just like I went and had a drink and sat there and just hung out and watched. The next thing you know,
Right.
somebody's talking to you and stuff. So
Yeah.
I
It's
wasn't out there to get my groove on. I was
right.
out there to find my community.
Right.
And that was what was nice. So once I found that, then I found out there was another bar and another
Okay.
bar. And most of them were mixed, men and women, but
Uh
it
huh.
was a place where you knew you could go and
Right,
be
right.
with.
And that was the place to meet. I mean, then we had no internet. Then I found out what the gay newspaper was, and I found out what a gay neighborhood was, and so I could find the community this way. And once I found a newspaper, I could get information. And then find out that the gay community center could get information. And that's the city of Pittsburgh. It was so hidden there that it's kind of like you had to know somebody who was already out and knew the community to find the community. I was once in upstate New York, and I was trying to find a lesbian bar there. It was called Secret, and it was so secret we could never find it. But now, somebody's saying I live in a small town and I don't feel safe to be able to say that I'm a lesbian. And this is brown eyes. Okay, you're the one who's pushing 27. So I've got friends who live in Alabama, which is all huge stretch country and very, anti-gay. They found their community and they're all connected on Facebook. And so what I'm thinking about is even if you're in a small town, the community is there.
Yeah, and there are all kind of Facebook pages that are just gay and lesbian, and they may be worldwide, but once you join those and you go in them and you type, I'm from Appalachia, Georgia. Then next thing you know, it's like, wow, I'm Appalachia, Georgia too, and then you're next thing you know, you're having coffee with somebody, and you may not be there to get your groove on. You're just there to make some friends. But there ain't nothing wrong getting your groove on either.
And what about other folks from small towns? See, I can't really speak to that, with any legitimacy because I'm from the city of Pittsburgh and I never lived in this. Well, I lived in a small town. I wasn't out. I lived there until I was 10 years old and I moved into the city. So, I was the only Jewish kid in my small town. Nobody bothered me, but they bothered other people in my family. Maybe they bothered me and I couldn't hear what they were saying.
This is true. Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm Edie.
I'm Judy. And together we're the Rainbow Grannies.
Yay! Hey. Come on every Saturday and Sunday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. We are part of the LGBT plus community and we have a good time. Matter of fact, we actually have a YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is Edie and Judy Rainbow Grannies.
Right. I was swallowing my coffee.
That's okay. Mm-hmm. Do we have grandkids? Oh my God, do we have grandkids? I think we have about 90,000 of them, right?
Yeah.
We have 90,000 grandkids.
Most of them we haven't gotten to meet yet, except, here on TikTok and YouTube.
We do have grandkids.
We have, man.
We have grandkids, but we actually, that's how we ended up getting our name, was because everybody kept asking you, will you be my grandma?
Even yesterday, somebody asked if we would be their grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they asked if we would adopt them, and I told them only if we could claim them on the income tax. I'm tired of all that. I give her kisses when you send gifts. Thank you. Because we appreciate the gifts too. That allows us to be able to buy a pizza at the end of the month,
That's
Yeah.
Right.
I got a feeling we might get 2 pizzas today.
Thank you for the gift, everybody.
Thank you. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? And Ashley, you're our newest follower. Thank you very much. Sometimes I wonder, where you guys been? Hey, Fresh Toast Face, where you guys been? Now we're 90 or 80,000 followers in, or subscribers, or whatever, followers on TikTok. And all of a sudden I see all these new people like Perry and everything. And it's like, you couldn't have just joined TikTok, right? Hey, Avery, you couldn't have just joined TikTok too, right? I mean, it's like, where you been? I mean, did you just get up in the morning or what?
So somebody here is 32 and wishing that they were brave enough, to feel comfortable to come out to their parents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. I tell you, I was a coward too when it came down to that, coming out to my mom. I actually officially didn't come out till I was probably in my late 40s, early 50s or something like that. So my mother, she knew who I was, because as mothers, we know our children.
Mm-hmm.
We know them, we know how they are. We can tell what they like and what they don't like. My mother, I've told this story before, and a lot of you, have heard it, but I was probably only about 7 years old, I think it was, when my mother said to me, I don't care what color the man is you marry, as long as he's a man. So right there, that let you know that my mother realized there was something a little different about me. Because those are not the average things.
You didn't have to stoop in your walk like every little girl had.
Right. I didn't want the ponytail.
You had to strut in your walk.
No, right. I was so glad when they came out with afros, because it allowed me to just, be a little closer to who I wanted to be.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I didn't come out and work till now. Just did an international talk at work conference. I'm 60. Wow.
Congratulations. How
And I
go
knew
ahead.
it was my daughter before she told me she would buy. She was 10 when she told me.
Yep.
That is so cool that she could tell you when she was 10.
That's
This is
what
the new generation. I am
that's
so
the new
excited. This
world.
is just incredible.
Oh yeah, that
You
they're
know,
able to
I would
do
not have
that.
opened my mouth when I was 10 years old. I closed it tighter. The more I knew I was
I had
gay,
a
the
crush.
tighter, the less I talked.
I actually had a crush on the neighbor lady. She was older
Mhm.
and everything, and I had a crush on her. And
Mhm.
I knew I would never tell anybody that I thought she
Yes.
was. I just she was
Yeah,
just
and
I
Jessica
don't
saying
know.
I'm so happy she trusted me, and you made it so that she knew she could.
Right,
And I
right.
mean, my parents never spoke against the gay community at all. My parents were very liberal. When it came to discrimination and stuff, they just like didn't understand it, right? But they also, were Jewish families, so they understood hate and discrimination, but it was still a time period that we did not.
Well,
Wow.
I want to mention this to you. The other day, I was at my senior group, and I belong to a senior group that's a LGBT plus senior group, right? And so we're sitting there, and one of the guys that's construct or putting on the meeting the other day, he
Mm-hmm.
looks at me and he says, "Edie," he says, "Edie, I want to thank you and Judy for what you do." He says,
Oh,
by you guys getting out here and putting your lives out here and letting people see, letting people see,
what was
you
that?
know, I thought that was that your belly?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Did my
okay.
belly rumble?
Maybe it was the flowers.
They rumble?
Anyway, he said, for you putting yourself out there and letting people see a piece of your lives and sharing with people and stuff. He said it's just so nice because the community really, likes knowing that we're here.
Oh, that's
And I thought that was
nice.
just so nice of him because I hadn't had anybody say anything, like that in a
Mhm.
while. And it was just nice to
That's nice.
hear.
You know what? I hope you can appreciate this comment
Yes.
with the. That's so good. I'm so glad that we met and we're both compatible this way
Yeah.
because I had dated somebody way back when who was all nervous and everything with me because I would be public and outspoken, and all she said is, "I don't know what to do. I could just see that you'll just be on TV someday on some kind of talk show talking," and it's like,
Really?
yeah, I'm so upset that I could be so out and was afraid of what it was going to mean, and it's like,
There's France.
yeah, and it's like, well, I should say that's hard for someone like me that I would be dating somebody who wants to stifle me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well,
And
when
now,
we
and I'm with you where it's like there's no stifling. It's like it's so nice. So that's the kind of a compliment that I've met you,
thank
and
you
that
very
things are
much,
good for us.
everybody. Thank you for all the love and all the gifts and everything. It's really nice. And tuning in here on Saturday and Sunday morning, hanging out with us. Thank you. So let's see what else is a good match. Did you know right away? Well, I honestly, I mean, I thought so because for one, she had a really cute butt, and I thought she was cute from her head all the way down. I can remember what kind of shoes she had on.
Who are we talking about now?
You,
Oh, me.
when we first met, I
I had
remember what
shoes
kind of
on.
shoes you had on.
Really?
Hmm.
Were they sneakers? That's not hard to.
No,
They weren't sneakers
no,
when we met.
no,
What were I wearing? Sandals?
hiking shoes.
I was wearing hiking shoes.
Hmm.
Yeah, that because we were camping.
I'm
That
just
makes sense.
yeah.
Good
You act like
traction.
you don't.
I couldn't
You
fall on my ass to make an impression that way, could I?
tell us the story. Well, Justine,
Let me say hi to
you've heard it.
Grandizer here.
Hey,
Grandizer here.
Grandizer, how you doing? It's good
Tell
to
us.
see you. Anybody that's on a YouTube channel, can you please make sure you minimize the chat, click on the thumbs up, and that way it helps with the algorithm.
So the story. Oh, and Destiny, you know the story.
That's
You want to
right.
hear it
And anybody over here
again?
on TikTok, what I need from you is to tap your screen. Right now we have 25,000 likes, and what we need to do is pull this up, which is very easy with this many people, to tap, 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 tap your screen. We'll be able to pull that up to an easy 30,000. Easy.
Yeah. So our
Let's
story,
see.
Destiny, what do you want to hear? The story about how Edie followed me around like a puppy dog
No,
at the
you want to
Women's
hear
Music
the story
Festival?
about how she followed me around and she was like a stalker, and like I went tried to hide from her, but she was like she just couldn't get enough. I can't get
We're
enough.
trying to hide among all those women, huh, at the music
Yeah.
festival.
Of that funky stuff. Yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah.
I met Edie one year at the campfire at the music festival, and she flirted so hard with me that I was scared of her, and I kind of backed off.
Yeah.
And she said, "Are you on OK Cupid? I'm on OK
Uh-oh.
Cupid. I'm going to find you on OK Cupid." Oh, good. So you just get to hear my side of the story. All right. So she was gonna try to stalk me on OK Cupid, and that because OK Cupid was the dating app that was free because we were both cheapskates, so we didn't pay for it. And anyway, then after that, I didn't think of her all year long. But the next year, I came back, and it was in the morning, and I needed to cook my breakfast, and I was looking for the fire pit again where Edie was, where I saw her the year before. And I went looking for that fire pit, expecting to find Edie there. And I found the fire pit, and Edie wasn't there. But I turned to my left, and there she was standing with all her friends, with the grill out and everything. And I ate it happy, cheerful the way in the morning. And I went over and said, "Hey, I'm
I
looking
was
for
still
a
sober
place to
that
cook
morning.
my breakfast." And Edie said, "Here's the grill right here. You can use my grill." It wasn't her grill, but
That's
it was
not
still a
quite
grill.
how it happened.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
And then,
The first year
and
I met her,
the rest is history.
she was actually with someone else. And I remember talking to the person that she was with, and she peeked out around the side of me. Show them how you peek. Here, show 'em.
Nothing. I was just
That's
kind of,
exactly how you looked.
I just
Like
kind
you were
of
like
trying.
peeking.
It was dark with the fire, and I'm
No,
trying
no,
to
no.
lip
This
read
was
people.
no. This was down at a tent. I met you. You don't even remember. Let me tell you. She don't even
I don't
remember.
remember meeting you at
Yeah.
the fire pit.
Okay. Earlier in the day, I had met her,
I didn't remember that.
and she was standing there with her friend, right? And I looked at her, and she was peeking. Here, peek. I'm sorry. Peek out around me like this. Go ahead. Yeah. She was peeking behind her friend, and I saw her, and I thought she's a cutie. That's when I said, "Are you on OK Cupid?"
We were at the fire pit.
No. Okay. So that wasn't my first time using that line of crap. So,
I'm sure it's not. And
so she
you
was,
might think Edie the player, but she just acted like a player. She wasn't really a player because as soon as you say "yeah, baby," she'd run.
yeah,
She would run.
I didn't
But I didn't
run.
know that at the
I
time.
just, step away quickly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, because
But
I was scared of them, especially like her. She was one of them ones to try to act like she was all innocent and everything. But I'm gonna tell you, talk about wild, wild woman, wild woman. So anyway,
wait.
so she said,
I don't know anything.
we
What?
talked and everything. So
Okay.
then at the fire pit that night, I don't remember you at the fire pit because we was drinking and having a good time and dancing and having fun and stuff. But the next year, you that's when you came and tried to like get me.
No, I didn't. I
She
was just
tried to
looking for a
get
place
me.
to heat up my breakfast.
Yeah, she come over. She said,
Mhm.
Can I warm my weenie on your fire?"
Mhm.
I said, "Well,
Mhm.
I guess so." You know. So she put her weenie over there on the grill and warmed her weenie.
Mhm.
And
And then we went with all our friends down to the concert, the daytime concert.
hmm
And I always go up front so I can hear the music because I need to be up front. So I invited Edie to sit up front with me. And a lot of times, some people do and some people don't like to sit up front. Edie said, "No, I'm just here with my friends," and she
yeah, I was
hung
good,
back.
because I
Hmm.
wasn't up for
And
nothing.
then I'm there at the concert and enjoying, and I look
But wait,
beside me.
wait,
All
wait.
of a sudden, there she is.
No, but what happened was
Hmm.
we were hanging out, sitting there. I was hanging with my friend sitting at a picnic table. She went on up front. My friend looked at me and she said, "What the hell's wrong with you, girl?" She says, "That girl invited you to come up there and watch the concert with her, and you're going to sit here with us?" And you know what? I was like, you know what? You're right. I thought, this might be my lucky day. We've all heard about it, the lucky day, right?
Give you kisses.
Yeah.
Thank you for
So
the
I thought
gift.
this might be my lucky day. And so I went up there, and that's when she looked over, and I was right beside her dancing. Because you want to go get that?
Yep. I'll be back, folks. Edie got this.
Yeah, so it was my lucky day. Now you get to hear the real story. So
Hey, hold on.
Yeah, so it, she gave me, it was a trip because I tried to get her phone number off of her. We all try to get their phone numbers off of them and stuff. But what she did was she gave me her email address. What? Who gives you an email address when they're trying to, So she didn't know that I was far beyond my years when it came down to the internet. I had her first name, but I didn't have her last name. And I knew one person that was camping with her. So I stalked that person on the internet to try to find her. And when I looked there, she had said she was camping with these two girls and had included her name. So by that, I was able to narrow it all down and I found her. And so then she had said she was going to contact me, but it didn't. But she didn't for a long time. And the reason was she had went out of the country for a little vacation and stuff. Yeah, I was like an FBI agent. I stalked it. I found out, and I found out. I even found her phone number before they, when they used to have like real phone numbers in your house. I was even able to find that on the internet. I worked it. Yeah, I should have got paid for all that. I used to be so good at the internet. I was at a doctor's appointment one day, and this lady that was a receptionist, she said to me, she says, I said, "How you doing?" She says, "Not too good." And I said, "Oh, what's wrong?" She says, "I caught my husband cheating." She says, "I know he's cheating, but I can't figure out, what's going on here." I said, "Well, I'm pretty good on the internet." I said, "Why don't you give me his name and stuff, and I'll see what I can find out." Do you know I went home that day? By the time I finished, I was able to find out who he was having an affair with and the whole works. I mean, it was like, because some people put like all their business out there, right? And the woman that he was having an affair with worked at a real estate place, and she had tagged him in that, so it was just like it all clicked in. It all clicked in. It was like, aha. So anyway, I should have made a living at that because I really liked it. I think it's harder now. Oh, see, Judy's not here for me to give kisses, but I will save them. Any gifts you send, I'll just keep them kisses stored up for her. Oh yeah, people will put their stuff out there, and if you got a couple hours, thank you. You got a couple hours to spend, uh, watching it. Yeah, Grandizer. I was like a private investigator. I was on it. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you for putting our post office box up there. My post office box is 131 Wilmerdine, Pennsylvania 15148, and we love gifts. It's so much fun, to go down there and get a box and come home and like, oh, look, look, look. So I want to thank you all very much. Let's see, we got it's 10 minutes till 9. Judy's on the phone with her daughter right now, and her daughter's from lives in the UK too. So, or let's see. So what else is going on? More kisses. I guess I got to give the kisses to somebody else. Let's see. Oh, I'm in PA. I'm in Harrisburg, and I absolutely love your hat. And I'd love to have one. Well, this is the Pittsburgh Pirates. They gave them away last year at Pride. So I would tell you, where I saw, for one, I've seen them at the Goodwill now because people, decide they don't want it. But I've also, like, if you go on your Facebook Market page and type in um, Pride stuff, you wouldn't believe how many people are getting rid of them right there, you know? So you can go ahead and pay, $10 or whatever. Do you guys like animals? Well, we have two cats, Bill and Apollo. And if you go back into our videos on TikTok, Apollo was only about a week and a half old when we found him, and he was a little tiny thing. He couldn't walk yet. His little ears was down. He could just peek a little bit. And so we got a bottle and some formula and fed him and rubbed his little butt and taught him how to go to the bathroom. And then after he got about 6 weeks old, we went on and adopted Bill. So he'd have a playmate. So we have Bill and Apollo.
This is the question about, do we like animals?
Yes.
Huh? I
Yeah.
also like to go horseback riding.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like right now, I'm getting my knee replaced on the 21st of next month. So after that's replaced, we're gonna get back out there and be hitting it, riding the horses and our
Yeah.
bikes and all that. I
And
can't
even
wait.
if we even have a place where we go kayaking, where you can go fishing, we go kayaking, and it's like you see all kind of wildlife, the
We went,
eagles and
yeah.
turtles,
Well, we
and
went kayaking. I'd say last year my shoulders were still, healing and everything, but it was really nice
yeah,
because we have one of those tandem kayaks,
uh-huh,
and it was nice because most of the time Judy could,
could do the rowing.
yeah.
And then whenever I got like really tired and eating, she's so much stronger than me. It was just,
Dun, 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 dun.
mm-hmm. I'm going to replenish our coffee. I'm going
But
to
you know
disappear
what?
again for a
I
second.
actually
Yeah.
think it's 9 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to call it a day,
Okay.
so that
Okay.
we can get some, you can rest because you got that cold coming on.
Right now,
I
I
want to
fight
run up
that.
to the store because I'm going to work on my crafts and stuff this afternoon. So I want to get a few things and set up my stuff and sit here and do my thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hey,
Maybe we'll go get
Grandizer,
some.
thanks for advertising us out there. You're a good promoter, man. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So,
So anybody that's not following us, make sure you follow us now because that way you get a message when we're coming on. It'll send it to your thing. Looky there. That's all you have to do. Just follow us. It's no big deal. Matter of fact, I would love to see what it's like to hit 100,000 followers. Like, I
mm-hmm.
think TikTok should throw you like a TikTok party or something like
Yeah,
that.
they could.
We should have a
They could.
TikTok party.
Well, we could have a TikTok party here.
This is true.
Yeah.
We could invite a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
our friends over
That's
and
right.
have a TikTok party. If we hit
Live on
100,
TikTok.
that's what we should do. Set the camera up, have a TikTok party live on camera.
That's right.
You know?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. That's what
Follow,
we're going to push.
follow. Okay, so we'll be
If you
back
Good.
next weekend probably.
Yes.
Most likely.
And then when I have my knee surgery, we're probably going to be on here quite a bit
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to be like sitting here thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know? Thank you very much, Sketch and Picasso. That's a cute name. See, that's what I'm saying. When people come on here and they got like the number user 787510, it's like,
Can't remember that.
but Sketch and Apollo or Sketch and Picasso, we will always remember you. That's cute. Rachel, I love you. I'm so glad to see you. I'm glad you're doing well and everything.
And a shout out to all the moderators for keeping the
Yeah.
bad people at bay. Thank you for your hard
We didn't
work.
hardly
And
have any bad people today. All right,
I didn't
wait.
see them.
If there's anybody here that's a bad person,
Mm.
we're getting ready to go. So right now is your opportunity to say, I'm bad. Just say it. Say, I'm bad.
I'm real bad.
I'm bad. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. I want you to spank me, Rainbow Granny. Spanking. Yeah. Spank me with your rainbow fan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I had foot surgery, so I understand your challenges will be. Don't worry, I've got this. We're gonna be all right. We are like, yeah, we got this. We got about 5 more minutes. We're hanging in here 5 more minutes. We're allowing you to go ahead and subscribe, which is the price of a cup of coffee, or just like hang out with us 5 more minutes. Make sure let's see, I will be around to give you some added joy. Oh, that's so sweet. Isn't that sweet?
Mm-hmm.
Are you close by? Because Judy might need some added joy too, because I might be grumpy when I'm sitting over there in the chair.
Yeah, now you're going to be on pain pills. You're going to be flying.
You know what the nurse told me the other day, and
What?
I've never had a nurse say this to me.
What?
If by chance I'm getting low on pain pills, don't wait and call on Friday. Call earlier in the week so that they can make sure I get them. Usually they act like them pain pills is coming out their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to give them up that easy. I wanted to tell her, why don't you just write me a script for them now, and I'll save them.
That's right. You'll save them.
Yeah, I'll save them. I'll put them in. Judy's going to want. She had to be the one to save them. Let's see, Sketch and Picasso. I wrote a children's book during my recovery time. Yeah, I'm figuring I'm going to sit here and work a little bit on my crafts and stuff. I think I'll do that. Let's see.
I'm in Pensacola, Florida, but not scared to give my number if extra joy and kindness is needed.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Don't put your number out here on
on TikTok.
Yeah, because we get enough of those spam people. you know, calling and stuff. Just published it yesterday. Well, congratulations.
And we've got a P.O. box still happening there, Sketch and Picasso. If you just published a book, send us the copies. We can give you a shout out.
This is true. If you send us a copy, our post office box is ready. Got your pen ready? It's P.O. Box 131, Wilmerdine, Pennsylvania 15148. I think Judy's typing it in there. That's good. You love this fan? I think it includes everybody. If there's anybody that's left out on this fan, shame on you. You know, just jump on another color. Let's see. Hi, ladies. This Thursday, I'm coming out to my mom as by. Well, congratulations, Keisha. I feel a cough coming on. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. I typed the P.O. box in.
Yeah.
And thank you, Grandizer, because you made it really easy for me to read off your copy to type it onto TikTok.
Okay.
All right, everybody. So till next time, happy Pride. Enjoy the celebration today and all week long. It is Pride every day. Bye-bye.
See you next week.